Okay, for those of you who know me well, you know that I am the ultimate planner. I check my social media analytics and my email marketing stats on the regular. I'm diligent about that monthly balance sheet. I even create spreadsheets for my vacations. And I know for some of you, you're sitting there going, oh my God, that's way too far. I cannot listen to this chick anymore. And that's fine. But I'm telling you, if you do not have a plan, if you don't have some sort of roadmap to show you where you're going, you're never going to get there. Or you might get there with a whole lot of bumps on the road and some scrapes and bruises and some cuts along the way. And if you're anything like me, we don't have time for that. So I have learned to implement regular reviews so I can pivot and make changes quickly so I don't waste a lot of time and money. And much like you, I have a team who I pay to help support my business. And if I'm not staying on top of those numbers, I'm literally throwing money away. And again, no one has time for that. So if you're not reviewing what worked and didn't in your business this past year, we're leaving money on the table and we don't want to do that. So we're going to dive into 4 key topics that I really want you to take a look at in your business as we near this year end. Okay. So number 1, review your numbers. Okay. And we're going to talk about a couple of things that means. First of all, you need to be looking at your balance sheet and your P&L statements. Okay. What services or products perform best financially? Are these offers that you have out there, are they yielding a high return on investment? In other words, is the time that you're putting into those offers, is it actually making you money? I want to give you an example on this. For me, I've been really reviewing my numbers over the course of the past couple of weeks, looking into 23 and what are those products and service offerings that I really need to be focusing in on because I make more money doing it. And for example, for me and my business, my trainings and my DISC trainings that I do, trainings and development, let's just, tuck it under that category. Those make more money per hour for me. And so I'm going to be looking more at doing that. My consulting services, same thing. I make more money per hour. So you want to be looking at your numbers to determine what are those products, those service offerings that you do that actually make you more money. So like, for example, if you're a lawyer, a family services lawyer or family lawyer, excuse me, are divorces, do you make more money performing a divorce rather than child custody disputes and that kind of thing? I mean, where do you make the money? And that's where you really need to be focusing your marketing and your messaging. Okay. So I just want you to think about that. Just look at your different your product offerings, your course offerings, whatever it is that you have out there in the marketplace, what's making you the most money. And that's what we need to be leaning into moving into the new year. Okay. So social media, which posts performed well, which ones bombed? We need to be looking at that. And you need to be sure not to repeat those crappy posts, right? And this is just a quick audit. Just hop on Instagram, hop on LinkedIn. What videos performed well? Which posts had the most eyeballs on them? Which posts had the most engagement on them as well too? And look at that. Look at the post itself. Look at the copy. Look at the content that you produced. Why do you feel like it produced well? Was it because of the catchy hook, the subject line, or at the top of the post? Was it because of the content? Was it a carousel post? Was it a post that you swipe through? Was it a video? Was it a static post? What was it about that post? And really do some digging because people will tell you in the comments exactly, what resonated with them. All right. So I want you to take a look at your social media. Then I want you to take a look at your email marketing. You need to check those open rates. Why were some emails higher than the other? This is the same kind of audit review that you'll do like from your social media as well. If you have some emails that were, had higher open rates than others, this is likely tied to your subject line. Was it catchy? Was it interesting? And ask yourself this and be really real with yourself. Would you have opened that email if it were in your inbox? Would you really? Okay. So, and this takes some, high level of self-awareness and understanding how you consume information as well too. But you got to be real with yourself. Would you even open that? Would you even look at that social media post? All right. So balance sheet, social media, email marketing, those are the numbers that you need to be reviewing. All right. That's my first one. Number 2, we need to be checking out our competitors. I do this on an annual basis. You need to look at what they're talking about and sharing online. Are there posts that have performed well? How could you take those concepts and make them your own? Okay. I'm all about not reinventing the wheel, right? There's no need to do that. Just take a look, see what your competitors are doing. If there's things that you really, really like about them, them, that they're doing well, okay, how can you put your own spin on it? If there are things that you're not liking about them, okay, how can you bridge that gap? Like, what are they doing that you are doing? Those are just some thoughts that we need to be thinking through as we're looking at our competitive advantage. And this isn't a compare and despair exercise, but I do want you to know what your competition is doing so you know how to best position your message. All right. So we need to check out our competitors. That's number 2. Number 3, this is a favorite one of mine. I want you to think about, do you really enjoy working with your clients? All right. This is a big one. And if your clients are causing you heartburn, you may need to revisit the type of person that you are serving. All right. So hear me out on this. I want you to go through this brief little mental exercise. This will take you a couple of minutes, but it is very enlightening. All right. I want you to think about one of your favorite clients. I want you to name that person. Close your eyes. Well, don't close your eyes if you're driving, but I want you to think about who that person is. What are the characteristics of that person? Why do you love working with that person? What makes them enjoyable? What type of personality do they have? What's their specific communication style? And what I mean by that is, are they direct? Are they bold? Are they fun? Are they collaborative? Are they more data focused and highly analytical? I want you to think about that type of client that you really, really enjoy working with. And if you have clients that don't really meet that criteria, we need to redirect your messaging a little bit, okay? Because your messaging needs to align to the type of person you really want to invite into your network and those who you would love to work with as well too. Now, I'm just going to, divert here just for a quick second. If you haven't taken the DISC profile, you need to do this, because the DISC profile, which you can take through me, you can go under my website, click on the Work With Me tab. Take the DISC profile. It's like $85. You get a 24-page report immediately after taking the DISC profile, and it tells you your unique communication style. It even tells you how you're going to best communicate with other styles who are different than you. Okay. This is a valuable piece of information, and it's something that I do with all of my private clients, and I do in my trainings as well too, because most of us communicate how we want people to communicate with us. And the problem with that is that if you're working with clients who are not your certain communication type, that's going to be a struggle. Okay. So we need to nail your messaging by understanding your communication type and the type of your perfect client as well too. All right. So let me get back on track here. So that messaging needs to align with that type of person that you really want to have as a client into your network, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So I want you to think about, are the clients that you're working with, do you really enjoy working with them? That's number 3. And number 4, this is really simple. Let's talk about your results, your marketing results, that is. What was the number 1 marketing objective that you had in 2022? Okay. Was it to increase the number of, if you're a family lawyer, was it to, have more divorce proceedings? You had a certain number of divorce proceedings a year prior, and you were hoping to hit a certain number this past year. If you are in an accounting firm or whatnot, how many new clients did you want to bring on board? Like, what was the number 1 marketing objective? And if you didn't have a marketing objective, that's something that we need to be looking at moving into the new year as well too. But I always look at it like this. What is that number 1 thing? What is the one thing that you want to achieve? And I'm just going to be really quite honest with you. Moving into the new year, for me, my marketing results, I've got a couple of things that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be launching a new group of female entrepreneurs and business owners and executives called Chicks in Charge. I'm very excited about it. But I want to develop community. That's a result that I want to see. I would like to have, by the end of 23, I'd like to have at least 50 women in that community. All right. That is a marketing result. That's going to put me in front of more eyeballs, more faces, and establishing a community, which is something that I've desperately wanted to do for years anyway. Okay. The other, result that I want to achieve moving into 23 is, I want to secure at least 5 of my big DISC trainings that I do around communication and marketing strategy and how you leverage your personal brand to best communicate with the right clients. And I've already secured 1 training. I've got 4 more trainings to secure for for 2023. Okay. So you have to have those specific measurable results. for your marketing. You just do. So you need to name it. You need to write it down. What is when I first started out in business, I just had one thing. I was looking to, I wanted to have at least 3 to 5 private clients. That was my one big result that I wanted to achieve. I've now moved past that to where I have a couple of big things that I want to achieve because I've got some staff, I've got some people to help me, and I can do that now. But when I was first starting out, it was just one big thing. So what is your one big thing that you want to achieve with your marketing? And those are the things that I really want you to focus on. All right. So I just want to recap really quickly. So the 4 things that you need to be thinking about for your business is, number 1, to review your numbers. That's your balance sheet, that's your social media, that's your email marketing. Okay. And if you did any paid ads and that kind of thing as well too, then those are some numbers that you need to be looking at as well. Okay. Number 2, checking out your competitors. This isn't the compare and despair game. This is just taking a look at who's doing what out there. What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? What can you replicate and put your own special sauce on? Okay. Number 3, what clients did you enjoy working with? All right. Just really consider that. And because that messaging needs to align with your perfect client. And finally, number 4, the marketing results. What was that number 1 marketing objective for 2022? Did you achieve it? Did you not? If not, why did you not achieve it? And that's really the long and short of the 4 big buckets that I always look at every single year. In fact, I actually do a mid-year review in June as well, too. So we'll be revisiting this whole concept back again in June. Okay. But here's the thing. When you review your numbers, when you take a look at the people that you're serving, when you look at those marketing results, when you take a look at the clients that you're serving as well too, and those numbers with your social media and email marketing, it just helps you zone in on the things that work. So you're not wasting time. We don't want to waste time. We don't want to waste money. Nobody's got time for that. So those are the 4 big buckets that I want you to review. Now, here's the thing. I developed, in fact, a couple of years ago, I developed an incredibly great I'm going to call it a SWOT analysis. It's, to take a look at your business, to take a look at your marketing. And I have a series of questions, a checklist, if you will, of deeper dive questions to ask yourself as to, is your marketing working for you or not? So if you want this checklist, my SWOT analysis, my year-end SWOT analysis, here's what I recommend that you do. You need to hop on LinkedIn or you need to hop on Instagram. And in the show notes below, I'll have my handles for that. And you need to send me a direct message and tell me, I'll just say SWOT analysis or just SWOT, but SWOT. Okay, SWOT. Just text me SWOT, and I will send you over the link so you can grab that analysis, that big worksheet. And I say big, it's not that big. It's just a couple of pages, but really good, insightful questions. Just get you to thinking about what is it that you're looking forward to doing in the next year. Okay, so that is all for today. A lot of information. We crammed it in a few minutes. I know that you got something out of it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.